Who is Brandon?
Who is Brandon? Man, I'm a dad. I'm a husband. I'm a teacher. I love sports. That's me. I love God. And that's me. I'm a real simple man. Just I enjoy life. I try to show that in the way I live, and that's me, man. That's me.
That's dope. So the next question is, who is BRM?
BRM. Now BRM's a little bit different. BRM does love life as well, but in my music, it's a little bit more turned up a little bit. I try to kind of bring you a lot of passion in my lyrics, a lot of energy, and I give you a lot of testimony. So sometimes in that testimony, it might seem a little dark, a little bit like that, but that's not me really though. That's not Brandon in life. You see a lot of smiling, you see a lot of that, but in my music, it's a little bit different, just to kind of get the point across, where I came from and where I'm going and where I am, kind of now. So it is a little bit different.
That's dope. It goes right into the next question, man.
Yeah.
Describe your upbringing.
Yeah, my upbringing, man. Did not grow up Christian. Did not know God. Basically, didn't really even have a relationship with God until I was about 30. But didn't grow up any of that. Mom and dad divorced when I was like 9, 10. Got a great stepdad and a great stepmom on both sides. No issues there, just more gifts at Christmas. Yeah, grew up good. Got a brother, 1 year younger. No complaints about growing up, in life or anything like that. Was well taken care of, played sports, all that good stuff. But yeah, as far as Christian and stuff like that is concerned, I don't know who God was.
Yeah. So the next question is, what or who are your influences now? Oh, actually, yeah, we'll do.
Yeah.
What or who are your influences now?
Yeah. As far as we're talking musical, or we just talking
in
life?
general? In general, I'm going to ask now.
Mentors.
Mentors,
Sure.
People, music.
Anything.
And then you can kind of just go into what they are, who they are, or what
Sure.
they are now, and then what they were.
Absolutely.
Growing up.
Absolutely. Growing up, I wouldn't say I had a ton of mentors or anything like that. I know the question is going to come later, but if there was something that I wish I could tell myself, old Brandon, was find somebody to be that mentor for you. But growing up, my mom, dad, everybody, they did a great job, raising me. But I do wish I would have had something in the church or something like that to point me going the right way, and not just trying to do things by myself and being selfish and putting myself around people that maybe weren't bringing the best out of me. But definitely mentors later in my life was my brother-in-law, Steve and and also my father-in-law. Both of them were kind of instrumental in me finding God and kind of helping me also pursue my talents. My brother-in-law was somebody who got me up on stage for the first time at church when I was coming out of a spot where I kind of just thought my life was about to be over. Marriage was crumbling, yada, yada, yada. And he pulled me up. He gave me confidence. They all pointed me in the right direction. So that would definitely be mentors in my life right there.
Yeah, and then you alluded to the next question.
Sure.
What advice would now Brandon give to then Brandon?
Yeah, kind of like what I just said, to find somebody specifically in a church that somebody was going to point me towards God, because I tried to do it on my own till 29, 30 years old, and it went okay, but definitely was going all the way down to nowhere. And definitely in a great spot now that I'm seeking a relationship with God. So wouldn't change that for the world.
Yeah, that's dope. So then, like this question is kind of like open-ended, I guess.
Sure.
You can do musically, and you can do like as a man, as a father,
Absolutely.
as a Christian. What is your purpose?
Oh, my purpose. Just in my professional and family life, I would think first is to raise my kids, be a good husband.
Absolutely.
That's first, is just kind of putting God to the side in music and whatever ministry. And I'm also a teacher, so I'm not only trying to teach my kids at home, but trying to teach 500 kids in a school, just how to be normal human beings in life that can actually bring something to society kids that don't even know how to like lose a game. Like what's gonna happen to them when they grow up and they don't know how to lose? You know, just trying to just teach kids respect and all that kind of stuff. So I feel like that's my purpose with family and professional. But then on the ministry side is like my music and stuff like that. My last album was called God's Goon, and basically the whole album was about trying to reach people right where they're at. That would be my purpose right now, is to reach somebody, even if you know God or you don't know God, invite them into right now. Meet them where they're at and just talk to them, be their friend, you know, just chop it up with them, and then let God kind of move from there. So that would be my music side.
That's dope. It's another interesting question.
Sure.
How has God's plan for your life matched up with your plan for your life?
Yeah, I saw that one. Yeah, so my plan for life had nothing to do with teaching, nothing to really do with this music where I'm kind of at now. I was a kid who couldn't even give an order at a restaurant. Like I couldn't talk in front of nobody. I couldn't do any of that. So the fact that I'm teaching and doing music and doing things that I've done in the last 8 years is a God thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, where I was going, I have no idea. But where God is taking me, I'm just along for the ride.
It was cool that you answered the question that way, because that's what I was hoping. That you would say, like, I didn't plan to be here. I'm here because God wants me here. Because I just feel like as Christians, when we pray, we feel like we know the exact plan for us.
Oh, right.
And then to ask somebody, like, man, like, how does your plan versus God's plan? And then, like, to sit here and talk to you, like, I can hear the contentness and where God has placed you.
Yeah.
And the goal, the purpose He's given you. So it's really cool, like that, how that worked out.
I think as somebody who, when you actually start to have like a relationship with God, like you actually, there's no other way to answer that question. I just feel like literally I have no one to thank but God, and my marriage, and where He's put me at as a job, and music, and people that He's put me in contact with. To say that I did that myself would be an absolute arrogant lie.
Yeah, it's just awesome to hear somebody who's like teaching kids
Yeah.
and like with your music, like a voice to people, to Christians, to hear a Christian say like, yeah, this isn't where I plan to be. This isn't what I planned to happen.
Right.
But like for you to be content in that, for you not to be like, oh, this isn't what I wanted either, you know? Like you sound like very happy and exactly where God's placed you.
I'm very happy because again, if that wasn't the case, I don't think I'd be anywhere that would be anything that I'd be proud of.
Yeah. So the next question is, have you ever experienced something that should have broke you?
Yeah, for sure. I think I used my parents' divorce as something when I was younger, like as an excuse.
Yeah.
But looking back on it, and pretty old dude now, getting up in age, I think that was just an excuse. But later in life, almost messing up my marriage was probably something that was definitely at my lowest point ever, for sure. That was definitely a low point. God turned it around though.
Yeah, and that's the next question, man.
Yeah.
Where did you find the hope?
It was God. I was saved when I was going through a lot of that stuff, but I tell people the same thing every single time. You might think you're saved, but if you're not like pursuing a relationship with God, you could pretty much throw it out the window. If you're not putting yourself in other people that can kind of build you up in that and kind of show you a way, mentor you a little bit, that's all great too. But unless you're physically yourself trying to seek a relationship with God, you can throw it out. A lot of times I feel like a lot of people, you can just throw it out the window.
Yeah.
So for me, that was the big hope, was reaching out to God and really actually praying and digging into His Word.
Trusting that He'd be there?
Trusting that He would actually be there. And He was.
Amen.
Yeah.
And He was.
The next question is, would then Brandon be proud of now Brandon?
So I did read that question. So then Brandon, like back in the days, like when I was younger? Just
I mean, like 17, 20, like,
Yeah.
you know, like
Sure.
just with the mindset of like where you were at that point.
Yeah.
Like, I when I wrote the question, I was like, he's probably gonna say yeah, but like,
Yeah.
as I wrote the question, I kind of thought like when I was 21, 22.
What would you tell your 21, 22?
I probably would have called myself a lame. Like I'm gonna be honest with you, that's
Right.
probably what I would have called
What are you
myself.
doing?
The Bible banging lame, dude. Like,
Right.
Like so, like it's just a perspective question.
Yeah, and I just wanted to be clear. No, that's what's up. What would now Brandon tell then Brandon?
What would then Brandon?
Oh,
Would then Brandon be proud of now Brandon? Like,
would then Brandon be proud of now Brandon?
Yeah.
You know what? Yes. And the reason I say yes again, I didn't know who God was. You know, even if you take God out of the picture, even at that time, like I had no clue of what I wanted to do leaving high school. Even I went to college at DuPage. I still didn't know what I wanted to do. I think then Brandon would be super proud of now Brandon.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here in my house, career, wife, kids.
Yeah. For sure.
2K.
Like, you know, like I said,
2K,
like
Xbox One.
yeah. No, like, because I thought about it myself. Like, yeah, I would have said,
That's a great question,
like,
actually.
I probably would have thought I was lame, but then I would have thought, like, oh, man, I grew up without a house.
Maybe
Grew
that
up
was
without all
something you
these
were looking to have.
So then maybe I'd have been like, man, I never thought I would have got to where I've gotten to.
It's actually a great question.
Yeah. And
Like
then,
you said, so like, then you,
Yeah.
like, oh man, this family man over here, man, that dude's a punk,
It,
man.
it almost even seems unattainable. Like, from
Sure.
where
From
I
where you came
was
from.
at those points, like,
Yeah.
I'm never going to get there. So, like, I don't know how I would ever really feel about
Sure.
someone getting there.
I actually like that question.
Yeah, and then like
But,
the next one I think is the best one.
Okay.
What would future Brandon tell Brandon now?
Yeah, that is a great question. And you know what, future Brandon, and I thought about that because he sends me the questions before so I can look at them. I actually thought about that one a little bit. And I think future Brandon would tell now Brandon, keep doing what you're doing. I feel like God is proud
Yeah.
of
Amen.
yeah.
That's dope, man.
Yeah.
That's dope.
I don't know why I'm getting emotional.
I think it's because the
That's a
framework,
good question.
of those
He
questions.
was.
I was
That's a
trying
good
to
question.
I was trying to like get like
Yeah.
17-year-old Brandon.
Yeah, I like that.
Talking to 60-year-old Brandon
Yeah.
and like bridge it all together. You
That's
know,
what's
like,
up, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. When you sent me the question, I looked at it and I thought the same answer I just said, but even saying it
Yeah.
is, yeah,
That's dope, man. That's dope.
that's it.
That's
Cut.
That's then and now.